Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. Just Simply Sports here. I hope you all had a great holiday with your loved ones, relaxing, eating, enjoying some football. Maybe not enjoying some football if you are a Chicago Bears fan, because Matt Eberflus. Last season, I feel like he got a pass because everyone was focused on Justin Fields and what he was or wasn't doing as a quarterback. And now you have a whole new, I could say a whole new, but you got the number one overall draft pick, you got Kenneth Williams, you got Keenan Allen, you have DJ Moore, they brought in Swift. You have so many weapons around you. You have no room for excuses this time to fail. And every time I see him in a press conference when they don't win, this face just looks like, well, we did our best. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And so nonchalant. Doesn't seem like he cares at all. There's never any accountability. You know what? Let's just look at the clip of what happened in the last minute of the Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions, and then I'm gonna play this clip, and then we'll talk about it really quickly.
Williams has to backpedal, running for his life, and heaves it down the field. And a flag comes out.
This is going to be PI on Detroit, but was it? They're talking about picking it up right now, Jim. That's the discussion, because the back judge saw it, and he's like, I don't think it actually was. The call for the game right here.
Yeah, well, was it catchable? That's another question.
It would have been if it wouldn't have been pass interference, but was it pass interference? I'm telling you, this discussion right now is whether it was or not.
Pass interference, number 29, defense. Ball with places, not a foul. Automatic foul.
On first down, Williams. Oh, he missed that at the feet of Moore, who had all kinds of space down that left sideline, Tony.
He missed him. This could have scored.
No one touched him. And down goes Williams. Zadarius Smith.
Well, this is supposed to be a quarterback draw. They have a light box.
Clock is running with 15 seconds, and it's 3rd and 26. They have one timeout left.
This is like the light box. You could have gotten numbers, but just didn't.
You better hurry.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is
game, no.
disaster in the making here. You're going to have to do something when it comes down to this play. Incomplete, and the game is over. Completely botched at the end by the Bears.
I can't believe they didn't take a timeout.
A lot of mistakes were made there. A lot of mistakes. Caleb made some mistakes. Matt, as the head coach, made some mistakes. But let's just listen to what he actually had to say about what went wrong from his perspective and why they did not win the game yesterday, or at least, I say, tie the game and go into overtime.
Holding those guys to field goals really helped us to stay in the game. And we did a good job of resetting ourselves at halftime. Offense did a heck of a job in the second half. In terms of efficiency and scoring points and getting us in position. Defense did what it had to do to put us in position to win the game as well. And then it came down to that last drive. The last drive right there. We were there at the end. They had penalty. We had penalty. We had a bunch of penalties there. Hands to the face. We had they called a pick route on us. But we also had the DPI to put us in position. And it's knocking us out of field goal range, those penalties. And then we're there at 2nd and 20. Take the sack right there. And, so we're at 36 seconds right there. And our hope was, because it was 3rd going into 4th, that we would re-rack that play at 18 seconds. Throw it inbounds, get it into the field goal range, and then call the timeout. And that's where it was. And that was our decision-making process on that. Again, we were outside the field goal range, so we needed to get a few more yards in there, as close as we can get. And then we're going to call timeout. And that's why we held that last timeout at the end of the game. So, like I said, disappointing for the players. They put a lot of work in a short week. and put themselves in position to win that game. So with that, I'll take questions.
Yeah, when you start the clock.
So why didn't you use the timeout? I understand that you had a different plan in mind of what you wanted to do, but you used a lot of time on that clock, and it was obvious that you need to call a timeout. It was just pretty obvious then. And this is what I'm saying. As a head coach, I feel like you need to know sometimes you go into the huddle, you might call a play over the mic, or you might tell Caleb, okay, we're going to do this. And sometimes situational football, it may not, it may not necessarily go as the way you planned it. And when that happens, you have to know, okay, adjustment has to be made quick on the fly. Use your time out so that you can go ahead and figure something else out so that you can go ahead and get in field goal range. Or if you're going to just go ahead and go for it and try to win the game, at least give Caleb his best chance of, getting a touchdown. Now, I will give Caleb this. I have seen improvement from the past few games. They obviously haven't won, but I see growth in him ever since they, got a new offensive coordinator. So it goes to show that maybe if they had put Thomas in there a while ago, that maybe they wouldn't be in this hole that they're in now. But I ultimately go back to the head coach, because as a head coach, you are in charge of everything. It all goes through you. You are the head coach. You're responsible for everything that happens. They're going to be asking Matt, Eberflus when things don't go wrong, or talking to him when they go right. They're not going to be talking to the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. You're going to take full responsibility for it when you are a head coach. The same way when things happen, when you're an owner, manager at a job, they're going to come to you. What happened? What went wrong? And I feel like from a X's and O's standpoint, he gave a breakdown of what happened, what went wrong. But I would love to have heard accountability, for the fact that he did not call a timeout. Your rookie by now. You know that obviously he's talented, but you know that he's prone to hold on to the ball too long. So you have to help him out. And I'm going to put more of this on Matt because Caleb is a rookie. He does some great things like instead of the play that he did, in that last 2 minutes where he was running down the field. There are so many things that he's doing, like his natural instincts. I feel like he's trusting himself more. He's playing with more confidence. But there are still things like holding on to the ball too long that he needs to work on. But your team, what you have. So it's like not what you have, but who you have. Sorry, I don't want to say what because he's a person, right? So when those things happen, you see that, he's using too much time. He doesn't know. He's trying to figure out what to do with it. Time out. Use the freaking time out. I'm not an advocate for people losing their jobs around the holidays or any point in time, but at this point, I feel like him as the head coach for Chicago Bears, they've hit their max. It is time to move on. It is time to move on. Now, Thomas, it seems to be doing a good job. The Caleb Whisperer, he's bringing out a different side of him. We get to see more of what we saw when he was in college. So I would say keep him, but I think respectfully, Matt needs to go. And the special teams, the defense, it's pretty good. Bring in Bill Belichick. I honestly think you bring in Bill Belichick, at the helms of this team as the head coach. You will see the Bears in playoffs next season. Easy, 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 easy. I'm not saying they're going to win the whole thing, but what they have with Caleb seems to be moving a lot better as far as the offensive coordinator is concerned. The head coach just needs to go. He just needs to go. I'm sorry, and I don't mean that and to be disrespectful, but I feel like he's done all he can with the Chicago Bears, and it's just time to move on and move forward because you didn't go through all of this. You didn't bring everybody that you brought in for Caleb and surround him with all these veterans just to end up always losing. And they're getting pretty close to winning. If they had for them to be holding the Detroit Lions, to their explosive offense, they always scoring. But to hold them to almost being in overtime, almost possibly winning that game, and they had the ball at the end, and then on top of that, they had the pass interference. Like so many things went in their favor for them to come up empty-handed. And this Detroit Lions team is what we obviously consider to be a Super Bowl contending team. Some people consider them to be the favorites for Super Bowl this year. So when you have a team like that, you have a chance to beat them, make a statement, and say, hey, look, we may not go to playoffs this year, but let's know that next year we're going to be there. Okay, we're going to be in the playoffs, making some noise. I'm putting everybody on notice. And you fail. I got to say, again, respectfully, we thank you for your time. It is time for you to move on. What do you guys think? Let me know in those comments. And of course, I'll see you in the next video.